So in the last video, I forgot to include the tech choices that I was considering thinking about, and I figured I'd just go ahead and do it while I'm still sitting here. We'll talk about it. One of the things that I was thinking of as far as consistency pieces go is looking at Deep Sea Aria, and if you refer back to the previous video, if you have Ching Ying and you do this, it procs and it grabs you whatever Sea Serpent that you might need as long as it's level 4 or lower. I think that's pretty good. I think Small World is a little bit better, but I can see people doing this maybe as a one-of. Personally, I like to keep a high monster count in there because you got to pay costs with water monsters, but this is okay because it can grab you one and then trigger the Ching Ying. And then for side deck, I was looking at White Howling. For those of you that don't know what it does, I will read it to you. If you control a water monster, that's the activation requirement because there's a colon. Target one spell in your opponent's graveyard, cost, banish it, and if you do, which means the banish has to be successful, for the rest of the turn, negate all spell effects on your opponent's field. Now, if you start to look at like Sinful Spoils cards and Snake Eyes cards, and then Ryan, you top with Sky Striker, so you might see that somewhere, pop up somewhere. This deals with all of that. And then Runic players, this just handles all of that, so you can play if you feel like you need it. I don't know that it's really good, but it seems okay in theory, and maybe it's worth a try. If you have Thrust, you can just grab it. Seems neat. And then I was looking at these things here as targets for Coelacanth. This will give you back a 3, so this can hand you back your Gundy or your Ryan or your Minstrel or anything like that. If you need to, it's okay. It's alright. It's a 17 beater for water, so it's obviously a Toad card. And then it's a fish for Coelacanth. I don't know that I would choose this one over Mander, though. Mander is also a 4-water fish, so it's definitely for Coelacanth. This could also help you trigger your Ching Ying, though, because it banishes itself for cost. And then you can choose to increase Mermail levels by 1 or 2. The level modulation won't really matter. You're just trying to make a Toad off of this and then get the removal from Ching Ying if that's what you're on. I think this would be better, given what it does, but that's to be seen. And maybe in the future I will cut the Harpooner to try this, because I really think Ching Ying is underrated and overlooked. These seem pretty cool. And then, like I said, for the Book of Eclipse side deck, maybe if we took out the Imperms, added the Gozen and the Fragrance, we put in the third Eclipse, and then put this over a Dogwood. I tend to like that theory, but theory is a whole lot different than practice. That's to be determined. We'll find out. It's also a Sea Serpent, so you can search it. And then if you're hand ripping, there are ways to get this in the yard, and there are ways to tribute to continue hand ripping. I feel like this is a brick more than anything, and Azurine is infinitely better than this. Megalo is better than this, and I have a love-hate relationship with Megalo. I just feel like it's one of the only 7s that works well. Megalo, this one, if you want to try it. But I think that hand ripping for 2 or 3 and having negates and interruptions for the rest of it is decent. We'll get into Barastos here, and we will get into Okami, the Gizmek. This blows up 2 cards in your hand, and if they're both water, it destroys set cards, and I don't remember if it does more than that, but I've never used it for it. I believe it's level 9. It's a water, and 18 3000. I think that you can bridge into this with anything. My only problem with this destroying back row is it would trigger... Oh, well, never mind. You're doing it on your turn, so thrust and tactics wouldn't really matter. But it would force out some back row. I'm not sure what we would do with a level 9, though. Maybe you can play one of this because you're playing the Small World bridges. And it's only, in my opinion, only for the situation that you're playing Small World. Now, this, you can special summon it if there's extra deck cards on the field, and then you can pay 1500 to blow up stuff. I don't remember what the rest of it does. You can pay 1500 life points as cost. Destroy all monsters on the field that were special summoned from the extra deck, and then it only allows you to attack with 1 monster that turn. That's decent, considering your Megalo can hit twice. And if that's your 1 monster, that's cool. You can only use each of the following effects of Okami once per turn. If 2 or more monsters special summon in the extra deck are on the field, you can special summon it from your hand. Yeah. If this card in your possession is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card, you can banish 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard and then gain life points equal to its attack. So it tries to recoup what you paid, and then if you have the Chen Ying on the board and it does the banish, you get that too. See what I'm saying with this? Chen Ying just seems too good not to play, in my opinion. But I was just looking at these as tech cards, and maybe there's a couple other that I've missed, but I think the few of these have been really cool options to consider. Maybe not necessarily play, but to consider. But anyway, I thought I would throw this in here really quick because I forgot to in the previous video. It was kind of running a little long. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. Have you a good one.